everybody in the future. We hope that your experience here at CTC is super exciting. As a director of student life, I have a lot of the fun stuff. So this is one of the things I enjoy the most, is actually getting the chance of meeting you and actually knowing a little bit about you. That's why we like to ask at the beginning who you are and, what you're doing and all of that other fun stuff, because it makes it really, really fun for us. At least for me, I would say. We're excited. So we're going to kick off with a few things. I'm going to show you a whole agenda of things that are going to be happening. And I want you, I can't see. I want you to just enjoy everything that we're going to be doing today. Ask your questions. You're going to meet a lot of people that are here to help you. And so we're going to kind of kick it off, first of all, with a welcome. And I know we have Dean Julie Starkey. She is our Dean of Student Success and Persistence, and she always likes to say hi. So take it away, Dean Starkey.
Hey guys, I want to welcome all of our new Eagles to Central Texas College. I'm so glad you could be here on a Thursday night. And that really says a lot about who you are. You're wanting to learn about the campus. You're giving us your time. And you're absorbing all of this great information that we're going to give you. We're going to give you a lot of information tonight. It might be a little overwhelming, so take notes, but know if you do nothing more, write down a person who you connected with, who spoke, and if nothing more, send them an email, rely on that person, go back to that person, ask them questions. At today's event, if you have a question, put it in the chat. We've got people on attending with you who are going to be answering all of your questions. So don't be afraid, jot it in there. I would not be doing my job as the Dean for Student Success and Persistence, though, if I did not give you a few tips for success. They're pretty basic, but I want to go over them with you very, very, very briefly. Number one, which shouldn't be surprised, you got to go to class every day. And if you're in an online class, you've got to log in to the class multiple times a week. You're going to find in our classes, you've got to submit, particularly for all the classes, you've got to submit a first assignment by the date your faculty assigns, or you run the risk of being dropped from that class. And your faculty, the faculty that are attending today, are going to talk more about it. But it's very important all through the semester that you go to class every day, and that if you're in an online class, that you log on very regularly. We don't want you scheduling doctor's appointments and other things during those classes. If that can be avoided, really try to make your class the priority that it should be. Number two, for your success, and I think your faculty that you're going to hear from today are going to echo this, you need to turn in everything. Don't turn in anything late. Don't think there's going to be extra credit at the end of the semester, because there may not be. There probably isn't. Just turn it all in. And that leads to the next success tip that I have is the importance of your syllabus for each of your classes. And again, your faculty are going to talk about the importance of that syllabus. That is, in essence, your contract for that class and what's going to happen. It gives you all the guide points, the guide posts. And what I always tell students to do is print that out and keep it near and dear to you, close to you. What do you have to do? But pay attention to that syllabus. I want you to get to know your faculty. You can see a lot of my tips for success have to do with your faculty, because you're going to know your faculty better than anybody else at this institution, and they're here to help you. You've got to get to know them. If you have a question about their class, it's your faculty who you reach out to. If you have an issue with that class, it's your faculty who you reach out to. And so you've got to get to know your faculty. You've got to talk to them, tell them when there's an issue, and try to do it in advance. So anyway, your faculty are key for your success. We have a ton of resources today that you're going to learn about. Start using them on day one. Your faculty are a resource, but we have a lot of other things, whether it be the library. We have a lot of tutoring options for you. We have career services. We have disability support services. There's so many resources for you, and I want you to start taking advantage of those day one. Honestly, if you want to connect to somebody tonight that has a resource that's important to you, please do so, but start taking advantage of those. I just encourage you to work hard every single day. I promise you, if you put 100% into this experience, you're going to get 100% back. And I promise you, I want to see every single one of you walk that stage at graduation. That is the pinnacle for all of us. That's what we're all striving for. Welcome. Take advantage of all of us that are on the call today and ask us all of your questions, and congratulations.
All right, thank you, Dean Starkey. So we're going to, yes. I'm going to show you really, really quickly kind of the agenda for today. It is a lot of information, but I want to make sure that you guys see what's going on, what we have for you, and that you guys feel ready. So this is the basic agenda for today, and we're going to be talking to some faculty. We're going to talk a little bit about financial aid, veteran services, academic advising and self-registration, as well as safety, student rights, responsibility, and a ton of sources that we have available for you. And along the way, you're welcome to type into the chat. Let us know what your questions are. We have people answering those questions. And then as we go along, if there's something we need to address, then we'll go ahead and address it. Really quickly, we're going to be doing some points. We're going to have PowerPoints or a slide that has information that's very critical for you. This is one of those. So if you want to like screenshot it or take a picture with your phone, depending on where you're at and what you're doing, this is an opportunity for you to take a picture. If you're like, I have no clue what my next step is in this education plan that I have, and I'm trying to go to school and I'm stuck and I'm not sure if I have everything ready. These are some emails that you can definitely use as resources at any time. We will go ahead and either take care of you in the moment or at least make sure that we refer you to somebody who has the answers and is able to assist you. So as we go along, there will be moments when I'm going to say, hey, it's time for you to take a screenshot of this. So this is one of those basic resources that from the get-go you can start using. Now I am going to introduce our Blackboard overview. And the person that's going to be explaining what Blackboard is and everything that you need to know to be successful, or at least the basics of it, is Dr. Audrey Seeley-Cruz. She is the department chair of the math department and one of the best people that has the best energy on this campus, and I'm always excited to work with her. So thank you very much, Dr. Seeley-Cruz, for doing this, and take it away.
So I'm getting a thing that says content sharing is unavailable. The host or co-host has not allowed you to share content unless the host and co-host are presenter. So I think you have to make me a presenter, like drag the icon.
That is so rude. I am so sorry.
Okay, let's see now. Let's see. I know this WebEx is crazy.
There was an update.
There was an update. I'll be right back.
Okay, guys. So while she's trying to figure that out, and this is something that happens. This is what's going to happen to you guys. We use technology all the time. It doesn't mean that you just like, oh, well, I couldn't do it. You're going to reach out to somebody and get some help, right? And I'm going to answer a question we have on Facebook here. It says, I applied to go for the LVN program. What is my next step? You really need to contact the health sciences department, and they're going to guide you through everything because LVN and nursing is very, very specific. So they're going to have to guide you really, really carefully, and you need to know what all the requirements are for you so that you can go ahead and be successful in that program. So definitely reach out to them, and I will in a little bit go ahead and put some information on that. While Dr. Seeley-Cruz is coming back, the other thing I am going to talk to you guys a little bit. Oh, I lost it from my PowerPoint, but I am going to bring it back. I'm going to share my PowerPoint, guys, real quick. While she's trying to come back.
I'm here. I just need to see if I'm the host again.
Okay, I will go ahead and do that then. Where are you? I don't see you. Can you talk again so I can find you?
Here. Testing.
Where are you? Oh.
With a D. I think I put doctor.
You put a D.
Dr. Audrey Cruz. I want to put the D.
Can't I see you?
Mm,
It's
I'm-
kind of weird. Well, there you
Yeah.
are. I see you now. Okay. That was weird. All right, you should be able to do that now.
Let's see. Yep. Share screen, share. Okay. Let me know when you can see my screen.
We're good.
You can see it? Great. Okay. So this is, oh, I won't be able to see the chat. So if you can fill the chat for me, that'd be great. So this is Blackboard. I'm going to go into student preview so that you can see it. So this is what it looks like to a student. Okay, so it looks like this. And so as soon as you come in, we received a Blackboard also did an update. We were always received a lot of feedback from students who are taking online classes saying, I don't know who my teacher is. Who's my teacher? I'm not really sure. So as soon as you go into Blackboard now, you're going to see instructor info. So the instructor info should be at the very top. It should have your instructor's name, their phone number, their office hours if they decide to list it there. Now, I will tell you that every course looks different as far as how the instructor has created it. So you will get access to Blackboard a couple of days before the course starts. I think the Friday before, but don't let me lie to you, okay? But I think it's the Friday before the course start date. And you'll get it so that you can actually go around and look and explore and see where everything is located. So this is a math course. I teach mathematics. I know that's everybody's favorite subject. I can already feel it coming through the screen that math is your favorite subject. So I know everybody signed up for a math class, and this is what the math class will look like. So we have start here. Once you come to start here, this is where your syllabus is located. So I know Dean Starkey was talking about how important your syllabus is. Make sure to read it. It is a contract between me, the instructor, and you as the student. And I can tell by some of the questions you didn't read it. For example, hey, do you accept late work? It's in the syllabus. What if I do if there's an emergency? It's in the syllabus. How much is everything worth? It's in the syllabus. Okay, so all of that is located in the syllabus. So you want to make sure that you go to start here, open up the syllabus. You can download it, you can print it. I know it looks a little bit lengthy, but it's just letting you know everything that you're going to do. What course materials do you need? I don't know if y'all can see that okay. What course materials do you need for the course? It's in the syllabus. And then of course it also has due dates. What's due exactly. So I would print it out, maybe put it in front of your math binder, because I know everybody has a math binder. So you put it in front of your math binder and you can kind of check it off that, hey, this is what I have to do by this date. And it has all of that listed. It also tells you when the exams are due. What can I use on the exams? And things like that. How much is everything worth? Oh, homework is worth this many points. Exams are worth this many points. But what do I need to get to pass? What other resources are available to me? What happens if I'm going to withdraw? All of that is located in the syllabus. So that's a really, really great place to start. What do I do first? So you want to kind of go through there. And then some courses have lecture videos. This is how you access your assignments. So you want to make sure to go in and work your way down. All of the folders are going to help, but like I said, all of the courses can be structured differently. If your instructor has assignments within Blackboard, you can come over here to the calendar and they will show up on the calendar. Math doesn't really have a lot of assignments within Blackboard. That's why you don't see any, but that's a good place to start. It'll mark your due dates for you if the assignments live in Blackboard. Another thing that you want to do is you want to come over here and read the announcements. We work so hard on these, okay? Please read them. So at the very beginning of every week, your instructor may post an announcement letting you know, hey, this is what we're going to be doing for the week. Hey, this is, some resources that are available to you. Here's the due date for the week. So you always want to start the beginning of the week seeing if your instructor posted any announcements. Some of your courses may have graded discussions. So you want to come over here and click up here for discussions, and you'll be able to work through the discussions and make sure you read the instructions on that. Here's the grade book. I'm doing so bad. Look at this because it's recognizing me as a student. But when you come into here, it lists all of the assignments, and then it'll tell you the due date. It'll tell you your status. I haven't opened anything, and the 2 assignments that were due are past due. This is not good, okay? But it's because because I didn't do them because I'm a teacher. But then it'll also have your grade and it'll have any feedback listed here for you so that you can see, you know, what you did wrong, or and then you may be able to ask questions of your instructor based on that feedback. We also have messages. I don't want to click on that because I'm not sure what happens, but when you click on messages, this is how you message your instructor back and forth. How many days can we access Blackboard before it starts again? I think you get it, I want to say about 3 days before it starts, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then it starts Monday. I think you get Friday. So if you have a class starting June 3rd, you'll probably have access to it tomorrow. Okay, so messages, this is how we communicate with you. So if we send you a message or you send me a message, it'll pop up here for me, just like this number 7 is popping up here, so that I'll be able to see, hey, you sent me something, and we can actually go back and forth through messages. I really like messages as an instructor. That's how I communicate with my students. And the reason why I communicate with messages is because it automatically puts your name, it automatically puts what class you're in. So all you really have to do is type your question. If you send me an email, and you say, hey, when is that due date again? I'm going to reply back, hey, who this? Okay, because I'm not going to know who you are. I teach multiple classes. You have to tell me what class you're in, your name, you know, maybe your student ID number, and it'll be helpful for me to be able to find it. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. That's the content in Blackboard. So you want to make sure, like I said, to come in here and familiarize yourself with Blackboard to know where everything is located, and you get access to that about like 3 days before. Any questions that I can answer about what Blackboard looks like? All of the tabs are up here, the main tabs, and then when you come here to content, then you just work your way down, okay, depending on the course. So that's why you want to familiarize yourself with it. Everything's located in folders, and then when you click on folders, it kind of truncates. So for me, it says lecture, video, and guide notes. So when I click on that, then it opens. If I click on the first folder, then it opens. So it just keeps opening and truncating. And then you can, of course, you can close it as well. Is there an app? Yes, I believe there is a Blackboard app that you can use. This is me. Don't fire me. Anybody of my bosses. If you're taking an online class, it's kind of hard to do everything on a phone. Okay, so that's just my recommendation. It's possible, it's just hard to do it. So if you're taking an online class, I would definitely see if you have a laptop availability. If you can't, you can go to a library and use a laptop. And if you're local, we have a library and we have labs where you can use computers. It's just really hard, and not everything looks really beautiful on the phone. So that's just one of my suggestions. Was there another question about Blackboard?
It says, quick question. Let's say that there was a student who graduated from the college and they need some credits from the college. Would that person need to create a new Blackboard account, or will they be able to use their old account?
As long as your student ID is fine, then you're good to go. So your password to, I guess everybody should write this down. Your password to Blackboard when you first come in is your ID number. So the lowercase c followed by your ID number, and your password should start to be as your birthday, your 2-digit month, 2-digit day, 2-digit year. So that's how it should start. And then of course, change it from there. But if you do, let me see if I can go just to Blackboard.
Can you show them how to log into Blackboard? Because I have a question today if they do it through Eagle Self-Service, and that's not it at all.
Let me see. I don't even know. I'm always in Blackboard, so I don't even know how to sign out. Okay, here we go. Okay, so where to go, you go to ctc.blackboard.com, okay, and you get to this screen. Maybe we can put that in the chat. So ctc.blackboard.com. So my username is my ID. Okay, and then if you notice here, when you come to ctc.blackboard.com, we do have some instructions. So you can see Blackboard login instructions, use Blackboard username lookup, and then if there's contact information for Blackboard technical support if you have any issues. Okay, so definitely you want to be able to access that. Then, so I just come here. I got someone who said you can do it through student tools as well, so that's cool. And then, like I said, your password is usually your 2-digit day, 2-digit month, 2-digit year until you change it. Oopsie, I don't even know my birthday. once you go into Blackboard, it's going to look like this, being that it's going to show your courses. So, oh, summer 1, 2024, here are all of my courses. So you can see the courses that you're taking. Over here on the left-hand side, you have the calendar, the messages, or you can go directly into a course. So when you click on your course will open. And this is exactly what I was showing you earlier, except I'm not in student view. That's teacher view. So student view will look like this, and that's how it works. So that's how you navigate to get there. Okay. Any other questions?
Can you explain about the sign-on portion?
How to sign in?
I
Again?
forgot what it's called. My brain's a little fried today. You know that they have to do a special sign-on.
So
Or did that change?
yeah, just to get in, you just use your ID number. So C and then your ID number, and then your password is your birthday. So 2-digit month, 2-digit day, 2-digit year. We have some examples here. And that's when you first sign in. So if it's not working, there's two things that could have happened. Number one, you've changed your password before and it's no longer your password. So you're going to have to call to get that reset. And then number two, something happened in your paperwork and they got your birthday wrong. So that's a good question. So you can come down here and it says Blackboard username lookup. So you can actually do this Blackboard username lookup, put in your first name, last name, and your date of birth, and it'll give you your user ID. That was a good question. Okay, so honestly, if you just go to ctc.blackboard.com, blackboard.com, it has all of the information here in the front. Okay, on authentication.
Sorry, I forgot the name for it, but that's what I was talking
That's
about.
okay. CTC, I don't think you need, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I don't ever need authentication to get to Blackboard. I needed it to get to my email. So I think with Blackboard, you can go straight in, but if it does require you to do, because I'm not in VPN right now, and I'm getting into Blackboard, okay.
I just know that Angela usually discusses that, so that's why I want to make sure that.
Oh, okay.
But it could be a student thing, so I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so for your email, it might make you do an authentication. You might have to download the Microsoft authentication on your phone. That's where I have mine. And so anytime I want to get into my email, I have to authenticate it. But I've never had to do that with Blackboard. Okay. So I'm just going to say that. Any other questions that I can help with Blackboard? I'm totally a sub. Okay. Dr. Reese does way better. How do you get your password to access the email for the first time? That's a great question.
We'll talk about that one in a little bit, so don't worry about that one.
I have no idea on that one. I've never been to student email.
It makes, and Miranda explained, it makes it, you set it up the beginning when the first signing into Blackboard as a student. But yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay. All right, so that's pretty much the overview. Like I said, go ahead and familiarize yourself with it as soon as you get in, and you should get in about 3 days before every course start date, just so that you have that time. I call it the preview days. So it's during those preview days, just kind of look through, click on everything, make sure you understand where everything is, read the syllabus, and then that'll give you a good foundation and a good start. Oh, I did want to show you one thing. Now that I'm like, oh yeah. Because back what Dean Starkey said, I want to avoid that you get this.
Okay. In the meantime, questions. So because I'm waiting on taking the TSI test, yeah, usually you only get access to the class, to Blackboard, after you register. Specifically, Blackboard is after you register. So, and it's going to be right before classes begin.
Yes.
The email is going to be different, guys. We'll explain that in a minute.
Okay, so there's two things I did want to say. Under Start here, we do use something called BioSig registration. And so when you come over here to BioSig registration, you want to register if you haven't registered before. It has the introduction. It also has the instructions on how to do so. Some of your assignments may be locked based off BioSig registration. You have to prove who you are in order for the assignment to open. So you want to make sure you go into BioSig registration and set up an account. put in the password that you're going to put in, and then certain assignments in Blackboard may be locked until you open it up with your BioSig registration. It's personalized to you. It's personalized to how you type and how you write. So it's a artificial intelligence software, and it tries to really make sure that you're you before it allows it to open. If you have any concerns or issues, there's also some help there, number and website for you to go to in order for you to, I don't know what it looks like for me. It may look different. Oh yeah, okay, student view. But so it may look a little bit different, but here's the BioSig. And so then you can use a draw pad and you come over here, and I don't even know my password, to tell you the truth. But and so you just come over here and draw your password and validate. And then once you validate, it'll, yeah, I don't remember what my password is. It'll open, and then you can go from there. Okay. But you want to make sure, and like I said, if you have any issues, you can, oh, there he goes. Bam, look at me go. I remembered. And see, and there it is. And you could have the same password I do, but you don't do it as fast and you don't have the same handwriting. So if I try to do the password, you try to do my password, it's not going to work. So that's why you want to make sure that you set that up. So that's one thing. Number two, in Start Here, we also have what's called the course contract. Okay, so you want to make sure to complete the course contract in your course, and that can activate you on our roster. If you are inactive during the first week of class, you could be dropped from the class due to non-activity. So you need to make sure that you're activating yourself on the roster by participating in an assignment within Blackboard, and that assignment can be the course contract, and your instructor will probably post in an announcement that we're all reading what assignments you need to do to make sure that you're considered active. So I wanted to make sure to go over those two things. Very important.
Thank you. Those are great. I do have a question. Let's see. It says it shows the course. Does Blackboard show the courses for the entire year or just the current active courses?
You'll only get access to the current active courses. And like I said, you'll get them 3 days before. So if you already know what you're taking for spring and have already signed up, because spring registration starts June 3rd, you still won't get access to the course until about 3 days before it starts. Okay. You still will have access to your last courses. You can go in and see a couple of things, but you may not be active. Some of the links may not be active.
And
Okay.
then what do you need to do if you need to reset your BioSig registration if you forgot what it was?
Yeah, me too. I almost forgot what it was too. So if you come over here on the BioSig site, it has information of where you can contact. Where did I go? Oh, it's in the shirt here. I don't know if it's here or if it's in any instructor too. They can probably help. I'm not sure. Oh, help right here. Help. And there you go. And so then they have step-by-step, they have technical support, and some different things for you, FAQ. Still can't find the answer, submit a ticket. So you can come over here and do that. Can we access BioSig before the course opens? That's an excellent question. I'm not sure. I would just access through the registration link in Blackboard. Because I don't want you to go to the website itself and it not be tied to your Blackboard account. But I do know that once you set up the BioSig registration, it should open. It should be. It should work for every course. Okay.
Let's see.
Well, that's it. That's all I was gonna say.
Well, there's a question about books.
Okay.
We'll have a certain time frame to get our books since we get access only 3 days before.
See, so I am such a another faculty member might want to chime in on what they do. I tell my students not to buy any books until day one, because you may not know exactly what we want you to purchase. So if you go to the syllabus does say, and I'll give you an example. So for mine, it has course materials, and then it does have the textbook, it has my math lab, it has the calculator. So I tell you exactly what you have to purchase. However, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this. I personally don't require you to buy the textbook. I don't, and neither does any of my team. We have it there in case you want to purchase it. If you want the textbook and you want to highlight and make notes and that's what you want, then that's fine. That's your choice. However, I am never going to require you to use a textbook. I'm never going to say, okay, open up your book to page 345. I'll never say that in my class. So that's me. So I would make sure that you speak with your instructor and see what your instructor wants you to do. And that's usually in one of the very first announcements. So I would wait because I would hate for you to buy something like we never use this and then you know have it there in its package. And usually people are like, okay, but if I wait and then I have to buy something, then what? So usually the assignments that you have for like the first 2 weeks, we can supply you with that content so that you won't have to do it while you get your books to come in. Okay. Any other faculty members want to chime in on that?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're taking an online class, you definitely want to reach out to the instructor because our online classes are usually only 8 weeks long.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give you a lot of time. So if you don't get it right away and you wait till the class starts, if there's any delays, you may not get your course materials in time to actually start the course. Now, one good thing about many, not all, but many of the online courses, some or all of the materials, the publishers will sometimes give you free access for a couple of weeks so that while you're waiting for your access code or whatever to come in, you can get started. But again, talk to your instructor just to double check.
Yes.
So
I would always first. Go ahead.
I want to just take a moment and let's just kind of go into segue. And if we need to answer Blackboard questions, we could definitely do that. But I feel like we need to bring the rest of the faculty in because we have amazing faculty and they're here for you. So we have Dr. Daniel Weggert, and he is the gentleman who was just speaking to you. He is an amazing faculty member from the Science and Agriculture Department. And I saw some people earlier saying they were interested in geography, geology, and all that other fun stuff. So he might be a good person to talk if you're interested in any of those fields. He is our geology instructor. And then somewhere in here, I have seen Kerwin Flaherty. He is a professor with our office technology, mostly, I believe, on the medical side of office technology. But I know you're here somewhere if you want to just at least say hi so people know who you are.
Howdy. Yep, Kerwin Flaherty. I work in office technology. I'm faculty over there, mostly on the medical side, as was already said. Teach coding and billing primarily, and courses associated with that. But yeah, happy to be here, ready to answer any burning questions that you might have.
Great. Thank you so much. So I just want to bring them in because I feel like this is the time for the Dream Team. They are part of the Dream Team and they are very supportive of our students in doing this. And so I wanted to make sure we started having them talk about, bring them in about it. So I have a question. Is there anything on YouTube or Eagle Self-Service that talks about Blackboard or about a SIG? Yes, great question, Erin. We, in our YouTube page, we are recording this right now. We will be uploading it probably not until next week, but it will be there. If you have any questions, we will be able to upload it there. We're also streaming it live on Facebook. So if you're not on Facebook, you can also always go back to the CTC Facebook page and rewatch any of this at any time. As soon as this is done, it will be uploaded in Facebook and you can go back and watch it. We also, in our CTC YouTube page, have Central Texas College YouTube page. Dr. Angela Reese, a while back, did a whole very detailed information on Blackboard, even though there has been some changes to the Blackboard because there was a major upgrade that happened recently. I think most of the information is still pretty valid. And I really recommend that, you go back and kind of watch it if you have the chance. So I just want to kind of put that out there. Thank you, Morgan. Let's see. Let me make sure. Okay, so Dr. Sealy Cruz, would you like to explain what your one hot tip is? Or wait, you know what? Let me let them go because you've been talking. Let me have Kerwin start, and then we're going to go from Kerwin to Dr. Weggert, and then back to Dr. Cruz Sealy.
So my tip that I always give students, especially new college students, is to find a timekeeping and task management system that works for you and start using it. These early semesters, try out a couple of different things. If you find that you're not, if you get a day planner and you find that you're not liking it, throw it away. Start with something new. I keep everything on my phone. I've been using it for several years now. I've got a system that works pretty well for me. But you're gonna have a lot of stuff coming at you, and me personally, it helps reduce like my like anxiety and like it improves my like mental health, because I know that when I look at my task list for the day, I can comfortably say I'm done with work today. I don't need to worry about this anymore, and I can put it down. And that's something that you're going to have to get good at as a student, because otherwise you will just continuously spin your wheels, and you have to think about education as a marathon and not a sprint, right? So pace yourself. Don't try to take on too much at once, and keep your eye on that finish line, but don't lose track of where you are and how much further you have to go.
Kind of going along with that, my recommendation would be kind of like he's saying, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Take whatever classes you find hard and make sure you spread them out. Don't wait and hold all the hard classes till the end. I get that a lot in science. I get a lot of people that'll save the math and science that they struggle with to the very end, and then they give themselves one really, really difficult semester. Try and spread the difficult classes for you, kind of mix them in with some easy classes. That way you'll have a better chance of being successful the whole way through. And please communicate. If you've got a problem, if you run into an issue, don't hesitate to say something to your instructor. But if you don't say anything, we can't help. If you let us know what's going on, we might be able to help. But you'll never know unless you tell us. And try to be proactive about that. Don't wait till it's after the due date to let us know, hey, I had a problem. As soon as the problem hits, let us know so we can help you.
All right, Dr. Cruz Sealy, you ready?
Yes. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to piggyback off both of them, and I'm going to talk about time management, because time management is so important. Like, I don't understand. He's the phone planner. I'm the planner. Do y'all see my planner? Like, I have it next to me like all the time. Like, I can't get through a day without it. So what I would do is literally put your calendar down. Okay, put your calendar down, and at the beginning of the week you should be watching videos. You should be going to maybe your instructor's office hours. I want you to notice, I love that student services does this so that you can see us, especially if you're an online student and only taking online classes. I'm here. I'm a real person. Does that make sense? We are here. It's not just you alone out in, where were some people? San Diego, Georgia. That's amazing. But we are here, and we can Zoom. We can get on a Zoom call. We can get on a WebEx. We have our office hours, and that's just not for face-to-face students. That's for online students as well. So if you're ever like, hey, can you meet with me for like 30 minutes real quick because I have a couple questions? Sure, that's what we're here to do. So just make sure to reach out to us. Wednesday, Thursday, you should be working through your homework, getting stuff done. Friday, you should be submitting stuff. Friday and Saturday. And Sunday, you should recap on the week, make sure you have everything finished, and looking forward to the next week. How do you do that? Well, your plan. You have to plan. Some of us are like, oh, I have children. You know you have children. I have a full-time job. You had a full-time job when you started the class. So you know those things. You need to put your fixed commitments on a calendar. Hey, Monday, I work 6 to 6. I can give you an hour of my time. Cool, I'll take it. Tuesday, I have to take my kids to school 10, and I work 10 to 10. I can't do anything. Okay, I understand. Wednesday, I'm off. Oh, Wednesday, you're off. You're off, you say. Well, then the majority of that day should be mine. Mine's is the most important class. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. You can like distribute, accordingly. But you want to make sure that you are putting majority of that time towards your schooling, because that is a commitment you decide to make. Does that make sense? And some students always ask me, well, when do I have me time? When you graduate. No, I'm just playing. Okay. You need to find me time. You have to find some family time. You have to find some time for you. How many of y'all have ever studied? All you did was study, and then you go take a test and you bomb it. Does that make sense? It's because you were too into it. You have to take a step back, and you take a step back by go for a walk, go be with your kids, go do that, and then come back with a fresh pair of eyes and study. Okay. So you need to make sure that you're making that course a priority, or your courses a priority, because you signed up for them and you want to make sure that you keep this end goal. And the last thing I'm going to say is, if you're taking an online class, especially, read the weekly announcements. It's a great start to the week. Okay. We work really hard on that. We really want to make sure that you know exactly what's due. We're trying to communicate with you. Check your email and messages frequently. That's how we communicate. And one of my coworkers said, reach out to your instructor if you have any questions or concerns. At any point during the course, reach out to us. Don't come to me in week 7 and say, oh, I had questions 4 weeks ago and you never asked them. We are here to help. We want you to pass. It makes us look good if you pass, right? We don't want to give a failing grade. We want to pass you. So you want to make sure that you're communicating often and you're putting the work in. Don't quit. Okay. I find that most of the people who fail my class are the people who quit and gave up. The ones who make it towards the end, of course, you're going to have a better chance of passing the class. So don't quit. Don't give up. Make sure to reach out and use all of these really rich resources that we have for you effectively. Okay. So good luck, everybody. Oh, my name is Dr. Cruz-Healy. I'm in charge of mathematics, engineering, drafting and design, and robotics. So if any of that interests you, please come see me. I'm going to put my information in the chat.
All right, thank you. There is a question in here about the different types of modalities of learning. They ask specifically about self-paced and in billing and coding, but I feel like we really need to touch upon the different modalities and what they are and what they can mean for a student.
Well, we've got a number of different modalities. The traditional in-person class, that's a face-to-face class. But we also have OLL classes, which are online only. So you do everything online. There's no set times to meet or anything along those lines. But different departments will have other modalities as well. Some of the online courses are self-paced. I know many departments do not do self-paced. Here in the sciences, we don't have any self-paced. We have due dates that you have to meet as you go. But there are other classes. There's hybrid classes or blended classes where they'll do part of it online, part of it face-to-face. We've actually been piloting here in the science department. We had a couple of classes they called high flex, where it was done face-to-face. The instructor was there. There were students out there, but there were some students that couldn't be there. So we had a camera set up recording and transmitting the lecture. So those that got sick and had to stay home, couldn't get off of work in time or whatever to get to the class, they could watch from home and get caught up on the material so that they didn't get behind. I think those are our major ones. Maybe the others can chime in if they can think of any others that I'm missing.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, just be careful with self-paced classes. Mathematics does not have them either. But even with self-paced classes, some of them are self-paced with milestones. So a lot of students hear self-paced and they think, oh, I could just turn everything in during week 8. And that's not true. Okay, so that's why it's really important when you access your Blackboard course to read through the syllabus, to look through your course, because you may have milestones like all of this work has to be done by week 3. All of this work has to be done by week 6. So you still have due dates, but it's a little bit more lenient than a traditional, hey, you have due dates every week type of class. That's the only thing I wanted to highlight about self-paced.
Yeah, I'll jump on that. And so we instituted a policy partially for faculty, but also for students, because we were noticing that we were having a lot of students that were doing that. They were just waiting till the last minute, and that doesn't help you as the student when that happens. And it's not you don't get constructive feedback. Because if you're turning it all at once, you're not able to implement that feedback into your future assignments. And so that just creates issues there. So we have a policy now in Office Technology that you have to make substantive progress rather throughout the course. And so we wanted it that way because it's still pretty squishy, and we can still be pretty lenient about what the actual due dates are. But you just have to communicate with your instructor to sort of figure that out. And I saw that somebody had asked about coding and billing, and so we do have our entire program can be done self-paced, and it's we have in-person classes that start every Monday, and you can start those every Monday, and then you can also do it remotely now as well. And as far as books go for that, I would just reach out to the department, and if I'll drop my contact info in the chat, and you can contact me, and I can help you figure out whatever books you need, because ours are pretty consistent from term to term. But it definitely is, as Dr. Cruz Seeley was saying, time management is even more important in a self-paced class. You really have to be very regimented with it, and it's very important that you block those times out, and that you are treating it like a part-time job or a full-time job if you're a full-time student. It really is. You can fall into that trap very easily. But yeah, so those are our modalities. We have a lot. We try to meet students where they are, and try to offer as many modalities as we can, so that we can, you can fit this into your life. You just have to fit it into your life.
Dr. Wegert, since you're part of the science department, we always have people that are interested in nursing or one of the health sciences, and those are pretty science. The prerequisites tend to be science intensive. And I was wondering if you can kind of talk a little bit about what that could look for a student, especially those science classes, and what they can expect and how they need to plan the classes accordingly.
Yeah, I saw that there was a question about nursing. To get into the nursing program, unless they've changed it, I don't think they have. There's 2 classes that you have to have before you get in, if I recall correctly. It's Anatomy and Physiology 1, and then Microbiology. And then once you're in, you have to complete Anatomy and Physiology 2. So you don't. 2 you can do before, but you have to do it at least before you finish the program. But those are offered only face-to-face. So I think somebody was asking if they were online. Those classes you will have to be here for. The microbiology, I know we have night classes for. Anatomy and physiology, because there's a lot of people that want to become nurses that have other time commitments during the day. We have usually at least 1 night course and 1 Saturday course. So if you are worried about time constraints and working a job or something, we do have options outside of the traditional daytime classes to help you get those classes you need to get into the nursing program. But it is pretty intensive. A&P 1 and A&P 2 are rough. So plan accordingly. They're trying to prepare you to make sure if you get into the nursing program and become a nurse, that you're not going to kill somebody. This is kind of that foundational level of knowledge that nursing's going to want to build on. So they have a very high standard that they're going to hold you to. So come prepared to put in a lot of hours to understand the material so that you can go to nursing and be successful.
Thank you. Aaron, I know you have a question about drafting and design, and I'm probably going to have Dr. Crusili kind of maybe talk a little bit about it. But for those of you that are asking about, well, if I needed to change a degree plan, if I don't know what classes to take and stuff like that, that should, your first stop will probably be advising. You can also talk to the department. But I am going to have Dr. Crusili, because we're about to wrap up, talk a little bit about that program and how it works, because it's a little bit different from the others, I believe.
Yes. So ours, I think it's kind of a little bit more like office technology. Like you can, once you start a class and you finish it, you can go ahead and sign up for the next class. And so you could just keep going through. It's on you to try to finish the course, and you have within the 16 weeks to finish it, but you can keep going. They're project-based courses. They do have to be done in our lab. It is a face-to-face program, because you're in our lab and you're actually drafting, making the blueprints, using AutoCAD and putting them on AutoCAD. So it is a face-to-face course. You could literally go on CTC's website and go to the math department, and you'll see drafting and design, and we have a list of our courses there, and I can put it in the chat too here in just a second, so that you can see what types of courses that you will be taking. But that is a face-to-face class. I don't think, no, I don't, you don't have to take the TSI to sign up for drafting. You don't. This is kind of like CTE kind of class, versus an academic type of class. So yes, if you don't have your TSI, it's okay. You can still sign up, and we would love to have you. Just letting you know.
Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I know it's almost time to wrap up, so we have about 5 minutes with our faculty. If we could just have any last words of wisdom, anything else that you feel like the students really need to know. Because I know otherwise we would still be talking all night. We could talk all night. Say that again, please.
Read your syllabi. It is the single most important thing you can do when you start a new class, is to read your syllabi and save them as well, because it can really be helpful going forward. But yeah, definitely read that syllabi when you get into a class.
Thank you. Dr. Weger, you got anything?
Communicate, 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 and don't skip anything. Usually if I've got somebody that's doing poorly in the class, when I go back and I look at their grades, I see zeros because they skipped something. Don't leave points. Don't just give up on them. Give everything an attempt. Even if you don't get the whole thing done, get done whatever you can and get it turned in, because most of us don't grade it on a all or nothing scale. It's, you give us half the work, usually you can get at least half the credit if you got it done right. So please give everything a shot, so you're not, giving up on points, because then later those points may be the ones that are what you really needed to make it to that next grade.
I agree. Ditto. And it really kills me when students come to me and say, hey, can I do anything for extra credit to get my assignment up? And I look, and you haven't done the past 10 assignments. So why am I making up extra credit on top of assignments you didn't do? So just do the assignments that we give you, and then we can go from there. So, and honestly, you guys, remember a lot of the only thing I want to say, and I'll close with this, is the connection between you're not only learning math or science or history. That's not all you're learning. You're learning to meet deadlines. You're learning to put in quality work. You're learning to communicate and work well with others. Those are skills that you are going to need just past 2 + 2 is 4. Do you know what I mean? It's past that. So you're coming to college to learn to be a professional. And so that is what the skills that you want to make sure that you're working on as well. So that's why you need to make sure you understand the job, and you do that by reading your syllabi, and then you do the work to get the job done. And that's what I'll leave with. Okay. But we'd love to have you in math and robotics and engineering and drafting. Just saying.
And I heard that there's some fun things coming, some other things you're planning over there. I've heard that there's been a lot of this going back there.
Yeah, it's top secret right now, but it will be coming out soon.
One thing, just to build on what Dr. Cruz-Seeley mentioned, she said at the end, people come asking for extra credit. The other thing I typically see when I see somebody come to me at the end of the semester asking for extra credit, when I gave extra credit during the semester, they skipped it. So I gave it to you, you didn't do it. Don't wait till the end. You got to do the stuff as you're going. If you wait till the end, it's too late. Please do it as the stuff comes up. We want to see you succeed. But when the semester ends, it's over. There's nothing more we can do.
All right. As usual, you guys are my shining stars, and I truly appreciate you being here and giving us all this insight. I hope that all of you future and current Eagles find this as informative. I always learn something from them, so I'm always excited to hear what they have to say, and I always have a lot of fun with them. So thank you guys for coming out and talking to our students, and we will see you around the semester. All right, we're going to move on. I do want to share something really, really quickly because we have to kind of get the ball rolling. This is one of those other slides that I mentioned that you might want to just go ahead and take a moment and take a picture of this. This is the links for materials and for our official bookstores. Guys, there's other bookstores out there, but if you want the official stuff, this is where you need to go. All right. So take a moment, take a picture, and we're going to keep the ball rolling. So I know we had a lot of questions about Eagle Mail and what that means. This is the information for Eagle Mail. This is how you access it. You will get access to your email within 3 business days of your class registration date. So after you register and pay for your class. So make sure that you are on the lookout for that. You will, to be able, it says here, to get your email for the first time, you're going to have to go through Eagle Self-Service, and then under that user profile. And you might have to say, oh, I forgot my password, and then you can reset your password that way. Usually the format for a student, it's going to be the first initial of your first name, your last name, and then if there's a lot of the same, if there's like a lot of S Smith or B Smith, then they might put a number after that. And then at stu.ctcd.edu. So that is how you get access to your Eagle Mail. Remember, that is after you register for classes. So if you have not registered for your initial classes, then you will not have access to this yet. If you have registered for classes, and it's been at least 3 days, you are welcome to go ahead and you can actually try to log in. You're not going to know your password. That's okay. Just say, I don't know my password, and they'll help you figure out how to get your password rolling. Student ID. I know some of you are not in Texas, but if you're ever in the area, you are welcome to get your student ID. We actually, when here in our central campus, we use that a lot. You can get it in building 209. And you do have to have some sort of ID so that you can get it, as well as verification that you have registered for classes already. The ID looks something similar to this. And in the middle, you will see the CTC ID number. We use it here a lot for things like being able to use the academic studio, the libraries, our student lounge. If you need to purchase books and you need to pay with financial aid, they will request that as well. So there's a lot of cases where you're going to be needing it if you're here in Texas. So you're welcome to come by and get one in person. Unfortunately, if you're not able to come in person, we are not able to send one to you. Parking permits. If you are here in our central campus, and again, I know that some of you are not, some of you are either in our service area, Marble Falls, Fort Cavazos, or outside of Texas, please, but if you are going to be in our central main campus, you need to go ahead and get a parking permit. To get that, you are going to go to building 211, and you're going to have your vehicle registration, your CTC ID, and a valid driver's license. Every single student has to have one, or everybody that's here. And that's mostly so that if there is an emergency, we know who's driving the vehicle and we can get a hold of you. If you're only taking classes in the airfield, Brian, it's not required, but I strongly urge it because it is still part of CTC. And if something were to happen, then we need to know that you're there as a CTC student. There's a lot of people outside of CTC that use that airfield. And if we need to identify, oh, is this, one of our students' vehicle or not, it is very helpful. Our campus police does cover the airfield as well. If you have an old ID, if you were a student before and the ID does not look like this one, then you do need to get a new one because this is the most current version of the ID and it changed just this year. So please make sure that you have the most current ID. If it's an old one, it will not work. Make sure when you're parking, there are some spaces that are considered reserved or say official use only. Don't park there, guys. Either people pay for it or they could actually give you a ticket for that. Definitely do not park in the handicap. But this is some of the basic information that you need to know. And you can just, as soon as you register, you can stop by the campus police department in 211 and they will go ahead and get you your parking permit. Really quickly. We actually like to, most of you, a lot of you actually probably got a text to remind you, hey, let's, please come join us in our orientation. If you are an Android user, please make sure that you have this information saved as a contact. This way you will get it. There's a little bit of an issue, I believe, with the texting platform. And sometimes if you're an Android user, it may not allow you to receive these texts. We use this platform to be able to remind you of events that may be happening on campus. But, if there's something super important that you need to be aware of, hey, there's a really important message we sent you an email about or anything like that, we try to send you a text whenever possible. So please make sure that this specific cell phone number is saved to your phone. Again, this is one of those slides that you want to just take a moment and take a picture of. And I am going to stop this real quick because I see that we have a few questions. Let's see, anything I haven't. We will be talking about student residence hall a little bit later. If a student had an account made already but not registered for classes and forgot the password, what's the process? I'm not sure what platform, Marie, you're talking about, but whether it be an email, whether it be Blackboard, Eagle Self-Service, there is always an option that if you forget your password, there is a way to reset it. So just go ahead. When you go into the website, it will give you that as an option. So you will just need to kind of follow the directions depending on what platform it is. And so that we can make sure we get you to the person that can help you specifically. For Eagle Mail, okay. No, it's fine. I'm sorry. I understand. Yeah, there is a place in there that you can reset it. You just try to log in. If you go to the login page, it will give you an option to either reset your password. So you can go ahead and put that in there and do that. All right. Any other questions? Let me see. Dean Starkey, can you kind of talk a little bit about success coaches and what that is and how excited you are? Because I know you're excited about this.
I am very excited. Maricela, can you put Charlotte's information up though, just so that they can have it and I'll talk behind it. Guys, we are starting a student success coaching program. It's SOAR. It's Success Orientation, Access, and Retention. This is going to be a person that actually, in conjunction with your academic advisor, in conjunction with your faculty members, is going to be there to help you when issues arise, help you keep you on track, on path, resolve concerns, help you become a better student, help you identify resources and things that you need. So this is going to be your personal connection to somebody that can help you. The program, I have to be honest with you, it doesn't start until August though. And so you will be receiving information. If you would like a success coach, you can opt into the program under normal circumstances. Anytime that is any student who is first time in college is going to automatically be brought into the program. And then there are various other triggers that will get you into it. You can always request though a student success coach. The success coaches will actually have a success course in Blackboard that you, being a member of the success coaching team, will have access to. There's no grades assigned to it or anything like that, but you will actually have access to Blackboard if you go into that at the point that you get admitted into the college. And a lot of the course is going to have a lot of resource information. So you'll be able to log into this Blackboard course and get information about the library, about how to write a paper, about how to contact faculty members, about various resources that are available. And your coach will send you various messages and updates and announcements, important dates about registration, about advising, about turning in your FAFSA. There'll be videos posted about how to file a FAFSA. A lot of the stuff that we're going over today, that will become part of your course. You will have access to that Blackboard course throughout your tenure. So at any point that you're at CTC and you need to go back and understand and see something, you'll be able to log into that course and access that information. You can send through Blackboard. You can actually send messages to your success coach and then they will respond to it. So it's another person that you can get help from. But the success coaches also will be having individual meetings with students, so you can come in and talk with them about various issues and various concerns that you have. And those meetings can be by the phone. It can be WebEx, Zoom, Teams. They can also be in person, however you need it. So this is a person that can help a student wherever they are in the United States, in the world, that a coach can help you. They will also be doing a communication plan. They have a very specific communication plan for all the students that are in there that are working with them. And so you'll get reminders and different information about different things that are going on in the campus. And then they'll also sponsor a lot of campus events and things like that that'll help you be successful. So we will launch it about August 1. And so I hope when you start getting information about that, you'll choose to be a part of that, because, we've talked a lot about success and we need to keep you on track. The faculty have talked to you a lot about, organization and time management and stress management and how to do all that. And the coaches are going to back all that up and help you with that if you ever get overwhelmed. And that's what they're there for. Charlotte is our lead success coach, and this is her contact information. She couldn't be here because of something else that was going on, but I wanted you to have that information from her, her contact information, if this sounds like something that you're interested in. So that's Success Coaching 101.
All right. Thank you, Dean Starkey. I'm wondering if Stacy is around. Stacy, are you there?
I'm here.
Yay! This is Stacy Britt. She is our Associate Director of Financial Aid. And we have had a lot of fun lately doing stuff online. So I'm super excited to see her. I haven't seen you in a minute, Stacy. I feel like it's been a while.
I know. We talk through email and Teams, but we haven't been face to face or screen to screen in a hot minute.
So I'm super excited. She is here to talk about financial aid and everything that means. And so do you want to go through the PowerPoint, Stacy, or do you want?
Yeah, let's work our way through that. And if there are any questions in the chat, if you can just holler them out to me, that'll work out too.
All right. Are you going to share? Do you want to just use mine?
Yeah, let's just use yours if you don't mind.
That's fine. All right. So do you want to talk through this before I change?
You can go ahead and change it. We're good. Oh, look how fancy. Okay, so tonight I'm going to discuss grants, work studies, student loans, and scholarships. We're going to go through all four, and I'm going to explain to you how each one works. So our first step to getting set up with your financial aid is to go to that studentaid.gov website and fill out your FAFSA. If you are planning on attending summer classes, that is the 23-24 FAFSA. If you are planning on starting in the fall, that is the 24-25 FAFSA. We are processing both currently. So we need you to apply for that FAFSA in order for you to qualify for any additional grants, your scholarships, and student loans. Without that FAFSA on file, we cannot process any of the things I'm going to talk about. You're so fancy. Okay, so what the FAFSA is, it's a free application for students who are planning on attending college. Even if you don't believe that you will qualify for the Pell Grant, we strongly recommend you go ahead and fill it out for a few reasons. One, they use that information when you go and fill out your scholarship application. Two, you may qualify for state and local grants. Three, if you want student loans, that's the way you're going to be able to get them. And then if you want to do work study, that is another way for you to be able to qualify.
Okay, Stacy, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a direct line regarding FAFSA? I submitted FAFSA and it keeps saying it's incomplete. But once I am in the application, it says it's complete.
Okay, so are you getting the incomplete from FAFSA or are you getting the incomplete from CTC? Because what happens is you submit it through FAFSA. FAFSA processes it. You'll get an email from FAFSA saying, hey, look, we processed your FAFSA. That's great. That's all well and good, but then we get it. And when we get it, we go through all of your information and verify all the information, and that's how we process your FAFSA. You'll get an email separately from CTC when that happens.
Actually, she says that FAFSA, CTC states that I still need to submit it.
Are you getting an error message?
So can you explain a little bit about the new FAFSA? Maybe what's been going on, because that might explain some of the things that are happening.
Yeah, there's okay, so let me go with this housing intent. Housing intent is the quickest, easiest thing you can do. You go on your Eagle self-serve, under your checklist, you select on campus, off campus, or with parents. Once that's submitted, it takes about 24 to 48 hours for us to get it and updated in your record. Super easy, quick. Next.
But what does it mean? I guess is his question, and that's only
so that's kind of going into the 24-25. So the old FAFSA would ask you where you're living at. The new FAFSA does not. We need that information for us to calculate how much money you need for the academic year. So in order for us to do so, we have to ask that question ourselves. This is our way of asking that question ourselves. The 2024-2025 FAFSA is also going off of the new federal poverty line. So people who were not qualifying before for Pell Grant, it's likely that you might qualify now because the poverty line has been raised considerably. And the new 2024-2025 is going off of the new minimum. So that's something you need to think about when you go to fill it out as well. The reason it goes off of 2 years ago is because it used to go off of the previous year, but we had several people who weren't filling out their tax returns until the following year. So FAFSA said, or Department of Ed said, okay, we're going to go back 2 years so we can guarantee that you have your taxes done for us to be able to process your FAFSA on time for the academic year.
Now, if there's been a significant change in the income, isn't there something that the students can do?
Yes, they can submit what is called, and they need to contact us for it. It is, let me bring up I just sent one out to a student today too. Trying to think of what it's called because my brain just went blank.
There's a form for that, right?
Yes, it's called a special circumstance form. If your income has decreased 25% or more, the household's income has decreased 25% or more, you request that document, we send it to you, you will send all the documentation plus that document back to us. And then we will reevaluate you.
Okay. Can they, the question has, for the housing intent form, can they do that personally or like come
Yes.
into the office personally?
You can go directly to your Eagle self-service under your checklist and you select, it's a drop-down menu, on campus, off campus, with parents. Once you select it and it's submitted, it's done. All we have left to do is then process you.
Okay.
You need to contact us, either come into the office or email us directly for the special circumstance form. If you want to talk to somebody one-on-one, you can call our office Monday through Thursday currently, because we're closed on Fridays during the summer. And it's, can you put the, I think there's a, on the spread, on the PowerPoint, I think there's a contact, maybe. Maybe. If not, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, guys, so you know that neither Stacy nor I are this fancy.
Right?
We did not put this part of it together.
Yeah, we didn't. The direct phone number for our office is in the chat.
Thank you. And the email is?
It is, our direct email is ben.aid. Let me double check. I don't usually use that email, so y'all will have to excuse me.
There we go, financial.aid, here we go.
There you go. I knew it was there somewhere. I just couldn't remember where we put it.
Thank you. All right, let's see, did I miss anything? I'm going to have a baby in August, but obviously I'm not able to claim him before he's born, so he's not on my FAFSA. Is that something I can update after he's born as a change in financial circumstance?
It will go on your following FAFSA. It is, the FAFSA goes off of your circumstances at the time that you fill out your FAFSA. That's just like if you're married, at the time that you fill out your FAFSA, that's the information it goes off of. If you're divorced at the time that you fill out your FAFSA, it's going to go off of that. If you are single, it's going to go off of that. Whatever your situation is at the time that you fill out your FAFSA, that is what it goes off of.
Okay. All right. When is the deadline for the 24-25 FAFSA?
Well, if you want to be able to attend classes in the fall, I would suggest before August 1st.
Do it now. I'm going to say now.
Sooner the better. I always tell people that as soon as it is available, fill out your FAFSA, because we go in order in which it was received. So if you don't turn yours in until September 31st, and we've got 1,000 students that turn theirs in before you, you're going to be waiting.
What day does fall registration open? Oh man, I had that right
Monday,
here.
Monday, June 3rd is when fall registration opens up.
Okay, guys, hot tip for all of you. That Sunday, you need to have all your classes pre-ready, and at midnight, you hit register, okay?
Yep, and then you're going to freeze up the system. No, I'm kidding.
No, don't, Stacy. Don't scare
You know
them.
it's happened. Dean Starkey's over there like, uh-huh.
All right,
She knows what's happened.
But not everybody knows this. This is a hot tip for those of you that are here in this
it's very important. You can go in and you can pick out your classes. You can even look at them right now and you pick out which ones you want, decide, shuffle them around, figure out what works best for your schedule, especially if you guys are full-time employees somewhere else. You definitely want to look at how that's going to work with your schedule.
All right, let me see. How are we doing?
Yes, if you between the time you filed those taxes 2 years ago and now, if your income has decreased 25% or more, submit a special circumstance form.
Wow, this is interesting. If we have to do entrance loan counseling and MPN tonight after meeting, will we be able to register already Monday?
Have you done a summer loan request? If you haven't done a summer loan request through the eTrieve, I suggest you do that as well tonight.
I think
Our
this
loan
is for
officer
this.
will,
I think this is for the fall.
if it's for the fall and we process you, you will automatically be packaged for loans, and then you'll need to do your MPM and your insurance counseling. Yeah, you have time. You can still register.
Where can I sign up for classes? We're going to show you how to do that, Bethany. Just hold tight. When we get to advising, we'll explain that to you, okay? And the same thing
Okay.
for how to pick out your classes.
Okay, I think we got off topic for a little bit there. So
Yeah. Bring it back.
do we want to go back a few slides so we can go over
Ooh,
how to keep your financial aid? How about that? It's not Jen's time. Jen can wait.
I know. I went, sorry, wrong way, wrong way. Oh, jeez. Okay. We're going to do something real quick. Which one do you want?
Keep going back. It's right here where it says federal aid.
Can we do this one too?
We need to do that one too. Okay, that'll work. Okay, so I've talked a little bit about how the FAFSA works. State and institutional aids, those are typically grants. Again, without having your FAFSA filled out, you will not qualify for those. And some of those are significant. We have what's called CTC set aside, which is for from CTC. And it's basically in addition to what you would get on top of any of your other grants. So this last 3 semesters, I think it was $1,000 approximately for everybody who qualified. Then you have TEOG, which is the Texas Education Opportunity Grant. You have the CEOG, State Educational Opportunity Grant. On top of that, scholarships. So let's talk a little bit about scholarships. July 1st for the fall 2024 academic year starting. July 1st is when they're going to open up those scholarships. They will close July 31st. Make a note, folks. This is kind of a hot tip, good information if you are coming in on fall semester. Those scholarships will open July 1st. So you want to get your FAFSA in if you're planning on doing 2024, 2025. You want to get that 2024, 2025 FAFSA in so we can get that processed so that they can look at that when they go to look at your scholarship application. Work study program. Shoni Morrow is our work study guru. She is the one who you would see, and I'm gonna put her information in. State aid is automatic once you fill out a FAFSA. If you qualify, then we would put it in your account for you to accept or deny. And sometimes you have to fill out a form, which is the Texas Education Opportunity Grant form through the e-forms. And once you submit that, then we can look at you and see if you are eligible for that. So Shoni Morrow does our work study. We will not be hiring any more work studies for the summer. However, for the fall, we will be. She has a pretty big goal. She's been going around asking everybody if they need a work study for the fall. This is one of those situations where if you qualify, you have unmet need. Again, you got to fill out that FAFSA. So you would fill out the application through the e-forms. We would determine whether or not you qualify, and then you would be sent on interviews for different departments, whoever you chose to go with, and they would interview you, and it's just like a regular job. This counts as work experience. This counts as time here, and you get paid for it. So it's a win-win. They work around your school schedule. It gets a win-win for everybody else. Okay, what else did we need to talk about, Mariceli? I feel like I'm missing something.
Student loans? No?
Student loans, kind of covered that. For the summer, you have to do a summer loan request, which is through the e-forms. If you don't do that, you will not be eligible for a summer loan. We're not automatically packaging summer loans. Let's see. So that's just going over some of the interest rates. Okay, eligibility. How to maintain eligibility. You must be in 6 credit hours. You must, for the work study, you must be in 6 credit hours. You apply through the eTreeve. I think I covered everything on that one. What else? So summer loan request, if you haven't done an MPN, which is a master promissory note in the entrance counseling, you need to do that. It counts towards your financial aid. However, you get paid in your pocket. It doesn't go towards your classes. Is that what you were asking, Shakira?
I think she's saying, like, do you have to have financial aid to be able to do work study?
You don't have to have Pell Grant necessarily. You just have to have enough unmet need to qualify. And sometimes you can have unmet need. Well, that depends on when your classes start, Brittany. If you have unmet need, you may not qualify for Pell, but you may be able to do work study. It's based off of your need. Okay. If you have more questions about loans, you can contact our loan officer, Angela Stewart. She is our loan guru, and she can answer all your questions and help you get your loan set up for summer.
And usually, for everybody, financial aid is available 10 days before classes begin, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So, all right, we have to move on so that we can stay on schedule.
Yes.
But Stacy, thank you so much. I'm hoping
if there are more questions in the comments, I will answer them as we go.
Thank you so much, Stacy. I think Jen should be around here somewhere.
Yeah, she's bugging me. She's telling me it's time to get off.
Well, before we start her off, I just wanted to make sure everybody knows July 1st, and this is what Stacy was talking about. They're going to open the scholarships for CTC again. And this is how you apply. So this is another one of those slides that you definitely want to take a moment, take a picture of it, apply. There's a lot of times that we have scholarships that people do not apply for, and the money is there. And we really want to make sure that we're giving out as much money as we possibly can. So please go ahead and do that. Now it's Jen Stembridge. She is actually our VA guru for the night. Jen, you want to take it away?
Yes, ma'am. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. My computer's been having some issues with the sound. So like Mariceli said, I'm Jen, and I work in veteran services. And kind of like financial aid, it's a lot of information to throw at you all at once, but we're always available to answer your questions this summer, Monday through Thursday. So when you're doing your benefits, there's a couple of things that you'll need to do. The first thing that's most important is to fill out, I don't know if I even have okay, we'll start with the different chapters. I don't remember what order the slides were in. I should have looked at that this morning. So there are multiple different chapters when it comes to the veterans, the VA benefits. So chapter 35 is for children and spouses of veterans or service members who have died or are captured or missing or has a disability. So now with the chapter 35 and the chapter 30, which is for people who have served at least 2 years on active duty, with those two benefits, those are going to cover a monthly housing allowance. And what that monthly housing allowance is the amount that you receive will be based on the amount of hours that you're in class. So if you're a full-time student, you'll receive that full benefit, which currently I believe is $14.88 a month. Now, the important thing with Chapter 35 and Chapter 30, actually all of the chapters, but particularly for these two, is a lot of people don't know this, but you can use financial aid and your veteran benefits. So if you are, yes, there is an age limit. It is, 26, I believe is what the age limit is. So if you are, sorry, I got sidetracked. If you're utilizing those, it pays you that monthly housing allowance, but it does not pay directly out to the school for your tuition or for books or anything. You will get annual stipend for books, but that comes again directly to you, not to the school. So by utilizing financial assistance on top of your VA benefits, you can cover the cost of tuition with the financial aid if you qualify. So then for Chapter 33, that's for people who served on active duty after September 10th of 2001. And it can also be used by dependents if it's transferred to them by the service member. And with that, you'll receive that housing allowance, the monthly stipend, but then that also will pay for your classes. And we bill that to the VA. And we'll talk about a little bit how we get all that information from you and everything. The last one is the Chapter 31, which is the VRNE program. And that one's a little bit different in that you'll work with a counselor directly with the VA. We have two counselors that are on campus with us. We're super lucky. The last few months we acquired Mr. Davis, and so we went from just having one, and now we have two. So it's been a huge help. But the counselors not only help you navigate the different benefits that you may qualify for, they do personalized career planning and guidance counseling. They help you apply so that you can maximize your VA education benefits, especially if you qualify for more than one benefit. They'll help you decide which one is the best for you to do. They also offer employment assistance, and that includes helping with resumes, translating the military work experience and training, referrals to different state and health agencies, and referrals for on-campus community and VA resources for academic success. So can you go to the next slide? Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about first. So it's pretty simple when it comes to applying for the benefits. I know it seems like it's a lot coming at you all at once. But the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go to va.gov and you're going to go down, click on VA benefits and healthcare, then on education and training, how to apply. That's going to open up a new page, and you'll scroll down to a blue box that says, it says, oh my gosh, it's not on there. It says apply here. Then you're going to answer some questions that are going to pop up. Once you've completed this, it can take up to 30 days for us to receive your certificate of eligibility, or for you to receive that, excuse me. So it's super important, especially if you're looking at starting with the fall classes, that you get this done as soon as possible so that we can make sure that your benefits, that you qualify for your benefits well in advance. Can you go to the next page for me, please? Okay, so VEC, that is a CTC term. It's our Veterans Enrollment Certificate. And this is what we have you guys fill out in eTrieve. And what it is it's what tells us to tell the VA what classes that you're going to take, and tells us that you want us to certify those classes. We have students who don't have all their classes certified, or may decide after using the benefit that they don't want to use it anymore until maybe their bachelor's or something. So we ask that every time you register for a new class, you submit a VEC. If you drop, or if you're dropped from a class or withdraw from a class, you'll need to send us an email so that we know to uncertify you for those classes. And so again, the reason it's important is it's what gives us the specific information to tell the VA what classes you're taking. And then go ahead to the next one. When should you submit your VEC? So this one is also very important. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
No, you're good. Because there is a question about the VEC right now. But
Oh, yeah.
I also another question that we have is I am using Chapter 33 for a different degree. I cannot use the Hazelwood Act Chapter 31 for aviation until I graduate this December. Will I be reimbursed for courses that I have paid out of pocket with either one of those benefits, and which is best to use?
So, Brian, hold on.
Is this one of
So-
those that they probably need to have their stuff looked at?
Yeah, absolutely. This is something where I will send you my information, and I'll have you send me an email. I'm going to have you talk to one of the counselors because they're going to be who's best to help you with that. Because when it comes to multiple benefits, we refer people to the counselors because they specialize in people who qualify for multiple benefits. So my information will come up. I will link it in here as well. And then, yes, Stephanie, we'll get to that in 1 second. I'll put my information in the box there as well. But that's going to be something where I will have you meet with one of the counselors. So give me just a minute on that. Once I get through the slides, I will look through the questions as well and go through and answer any questions that we may have missed. So when should you submit your VEC? I'm going to answer that really quick. So we've got fall registration coming up. We've got the start of the next set of classes for summer coming up. As soon as you register for your classes, that is when you should submit a VEC. And the reason being is that if you submit your VEC as soon as you register for those classes, we're going to be able to process and get through them in a more timely manner. Whereas, if you wait until the very last second, there may be a delay. And doing it sooner prevents anything happening from dropping your classes or anything like that. Because if we don't have you properly coded in the system, then you run that risk. And then, so yes, Stephanie, once you're enrolled, and again, it's also very important to remember that the VEC is not a one and done kind of a thing. Every time you enroll in new classes, you'll need to do that VEC for us. And that's just so that we know that you are still wanting to continue to utilize those benefits. Is there any other slides after that one? Yeah. Okay, so this is our contact information. We're in building 215 on the second floor. Feel free to come visit us anytime. We're open currently. The campus is closed on Fridays. So we are open Monday through Thursday from 7:30 to 5:30. And we stagger our lunches so someone's always available. And then once we're past the summer, we're open for a limited schedule on Fridays. So once we move on to the next topic, I will go through and answer any other questions that I might not have.
Yeah.
Yes,
we,
yeah.
if
So
you'll go ahead and just kind of, yeah, go ahead
perfect,
and just answer questions in the chat. That would be amazing. Really appreciate it because we
perfect.
do need to
Yep,
move on.
no problem.
So I
Yep,
appreciate that. And then
awesome.
this is
No problem. Okay.
actually this is not the correct. Miss Oswald is no longer here, right? Oh,
No, that you are absolutely right.
but James is.
Let me get that. James is still here. Now we have Lawrence Davis. And I'll get you that information to get that updated too, but I will include I'm going to put our contact information as well as James and Lawrence's contact information in the box, the chat box. So, and then like I said, everybody, I will come through and start answering your guys' questions in the chat. So look out for that. I just want to make sure that we get back on schedule here. So there you go. That is all I've got. Thanks, Mariceli.
Thank you. All right. We're going to now talk about advising, and this is where a lot of you had some questions about how do I register for classes? What is it that I need to know? How do I know, what my classes are available? All of those questions that I heard coming through the pipe at some point. This is where we're going to discuss that now. I am looking for, it's a little weird because, is my advisor on?
Yes, ma'am. I'm right here for you.
I can't see you. That's why I'm freaking out. Okay, there's Richard. Awesome. Thank you, Richard. So this is Richard Lewis. He is amazing advisor for you guys. He is one of the, he has a story and he's very good with it. And you should at some point listen to it. But guys, he started as a student and now he's one of our star advisors. So,
Right.
Richard, are you going to use the PowerPoint or are you going to wing it?
I'm kind of winging it. I got thrown in here last minute, but I'm still here to give you guys information on anything you need.
Thank you.
What questions did you have so far? Maybe I can start there, and then I'll
a lot of it was like, how do I register for my classes? What is it that I
Mhm.
need to do? And maybe if you can kind of show them Eagle's self-service and how that works a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So just touching on what you said, yes, I was a student at some point, and it was kind of difficult. But fortunately, we do have advisors that I was able to reach out to that you guys can reach out to, and we make it easier for you. I guess what I'll do is I'll just start with Eagle Self-Service real quick on how to search and register for classes. I'm trying to share my screen, but
You should be able to now. You're muted, by the way, but you should be able to present now.
what about now?
Yeah, now I hear you.
Okay. So I am pulling up my screen just to show you Eagle Self-Service real quick. Your screen is going to look different from mine. I have different privileges, so there's going to be some more on here for that I see. But for the most part, if you are trying to figure out Eagle Self-Service and how to work it, what you're going to want to do is go to Student Tools, and here, as it says, you can plan your courses, register for your classes, and all that good stuff. So what you would want to do is you want to go to Student Planning. It would open you up to this screen right here. And what you can do to see what classes you need for your degree is go to My Progress. And what that's going to do is pull up your program. If you have not multiple programs, but like have had things active in the past before, they'll show up here, but you can just click over and it'll show you, all your degrees. If you ever wanted to search for a new one, let's do accounting. Oh, I searched the class. I'm sorry, guys. There's a button right here that says View New Program. And you to be able to go in here, there's accounting. Now we can click View New Program. And what it's going to do is bring you to this screen again. It'll give you some information about your degree up here, all this good stuff down here about your GPA, the department you're associated with it. But the most important thing is figuring out what classes you need. And you're going to do that by looking at these requirements down here. There's 3 red lines, and honestly, you can disregard the first red line. If you click on the second red line where it says General Education Requirements, it'll bring up all the different core requirements you need for your degree. So for this one, for example, it says Communications, it says take 2 groups. And as I go in here, I can see what those groups are and what classes satisfy those. In this section, we have a class planned. In this section, we have the degree complete. So it kind of lets you know what you have planned, what you have completed, and what you still need. So let's say we're ready to sign up for a class, and I'll just hide these. And I want to go for a math class. So I'm going to click the math class. It's going to take me to the class. And then from here, we can click where it says view available sections. We want to be mindful of the day that it starts, the days that it ends. Let's see. All these kind of have the same start date. As well, you want to be mindful of the seats available, seats full. Registration for the fall does not start until June 3rd. So these classes are all available. So if you haven't already, get on here, start planning your schedule. So that way, when that time comes, you can just hit register and you'll be good. But let's say I want math starting fall. I'm gonna hit add section to schedule. It's gonna come up and bring up that information again, and I'm just gonna double check it. It's all looks good. I hit add section to register. And if you knew what classes you wanted to sign up for, moving forward, you can just go right here where it says search for classes, type in the class you're looking for, and it'll pop up. So like if I clicked GOVT 2305, it's going to take me there. And then you do the same process, look for the classes, make sure the times and date match what you need. And you can also go over here to the locations area and specify online, distance learning, face-to-face, to make sure you're in the right areas. So let's get re-entered with the page. We go home, we go back to student planning. And last time we were in my progress to see what classes we needed. But now, since we picked classes, we're going to go to plan and schedule, and you should see these classes listed. You should be able to, yes, ma'am.
If you could go slightly slower because there's a lag between what you're saying and
Gotcha.
what's showing over here. Thank you.
So if you've been tracking so far, if you go to the home screen, go to student planning, and then my progress, it'll show you the classes you need. And after you've added those classes to your schedule, which is where I'm at now, you have the option to register for those classes, or you can drop them off your schedule. You can also plan multiple semesters. So right now, this is the summer, registration is clearly open, but if we switch to the fall, that class that we added, you see section registration doesn't start until June 3rd. So these are just some things to be mindful of in terms of registering. And then on this page as well, if you're using financial aid, you can check your financial aid status. If you want to receive direct deposits, you can get that updated here. Again, this is going to be where a lot of your student activities come from. So this is going to be something real good to get acquainted with. I haven't been watching the chat. Has any questions came up so far?
There was a question about my CAA. How does creating a plan and registering if I'm using my CAA for funding work? I know there's a lot of specifics with the timeline for my CAA, so it's gotten confusing. One, and how I do everything correctly.
Got you. So with my CAA, it's kind of the same process as just getting your degree plan set up in general. Let me stop sharing the screen first off. Okay. My CAA is just the same way as getting your degree plan set up in general. You would talk to us, we would activate a degree plan, but at that point, you would want to specify you're using my CAA so we can give you the appropriate paperwork. You're going to need an educational and training plan as well as a degree plan. And those are both things that we'd be able to give to you so you can provide to your my CAA and they know what degree you're on and what classes you need. So the short answer, go about it the way you would regularly set up a degree plan, but then also notify us that you're using that funding source, and we can make sure you get the appropriate paperwork.
How long ago? How do I go along with using the TSIA?
With the TSI, that's the TSIA is the Texas State Initiative Assessment, and that's our placement exam for English and for math. Those scores do have somewhat of an expiration date. So if you took them and they're 5 years old and you never took classes, you're probably going to need to retake that. In addition to that, if you took them maybe 10 years ago, and you're trying to use that for placement, it may not work the way you want. We can use it for compliance, but in terms of getting your actual placement for classes, we would either have to start you at the base level, or if you take that TSIA, we can determine your true college readiness level.
Okay.
Hope that answered the question.
Yes. There was another one. Wait, where you go? Do we contact the department directly, or can we speak with an advisor for degree program specific question?
You can always ask an advisor any initial question you have, so that way we can at least point you in the right direction. You're more than welcome to reach out to the departments for those specifics, because that way we don't want any miscommunication or anything like that. There's going to be certain programs where you're going to have to reach out to the department regardless. Some classes do require a granted petition, and some of them require departmental approval before you can even start that program. So yeah, we are not gatekeeping the departments. If you want to reach out to them, you're more than welcome to.
Yes. How do I get scheduled to take, I think, the TSI?
You would have to reach out to our testing center if you wanted to take the TSI with us, but you can take that TSI assessment anywhere that is offered. We just need official scores and we can use them. But again, our testing center on campus does offer that test, and you just have to call them. The number is 254-526-1194. And I say that so much, I just know it off the top of my head.
It helps. It helps. All right, let's see. And those are all the questions I have. I am going to put up in the screen really, really quickly the page that has the contact information for advisors. So that way you guys can go ahead. This is, and this again, guys, picture time, picture time. This is one of them. This is for if you're in, can you explain this? You explain this.
Yeah, for sure. There's going to be the main one, the academic.advising@ctcd.edu. We have a variety of advisors. We got like 7 downstairs. You know, we have a lot of different advisors ready to help everybody. But in terms of our office, if you emailed academic.advising, you'd be able to get in contact with any of us. So if I'm out the office or one of my colleagues are out the office, somebody will always be available to respond. But yeah, general academic advising questions, you know, we can definitely help you out right there. Some people just need a quick question answered and we got you. But our registration.help is also there as well. So like maybe you have a class with a prereq or something like that you're having an issue with, you know, you're more than welcome to email either of those addresses and we'll be able to help you out.
Do you want to go over what you need to make sure you're sending them the correct information?
So if you're sending us an email, we would prefer that you list your name, an ID number, and of course, whatever issue you're having. But the main thing is we do need to be able to look your account up. So some type of personal identification, you know, is going to be great to start with.
And if you have an Eagle Mail, that helps too.
No, absolutely, because we can connect that directly to your account, but feel free to message us from your personal email as well. What else you got? Is that it?
I got Eagles on Call, Kate advising.
No
Okay.
worries. And if that is all, what I just wanted to mention is, you know, we have our summer start date coming up June 3rd, guys. Last day to enroll is going to be June 2nd. And for these classes that start in August, our registration period opens up June 3rd. So get on that early if you want to make sure you got seats for your classes, especially those science classes.
Yeah. See, remember I told you guys, Sunday night, go if you want to get into those science classes.
I'm talking about 11:59. You need to be ready.
Yeah, yeah. Remember, this is the secret for you guys who actually showed up and listened to this presentation. Okay.
It's going to make your life less stressful.
Right, right. All right. Thank you so much, Richard. Yeah, AMP definitely want to be there at midnight for sure. Who is the advisor on Fort Hood? Richard, can you stay on for a little bit and maybe answer some of those questions and just help
I don't
them
got
out?
nothing going on.
Thanks, sir.
Now
I appreciate you coming in and helping us.
Now the advisor on Fort Hood, I'm not too sure who that is, but maybe I can do a quick research if that's all right.
I think you can do it. I mean, ultimately, you guys can help also, right?
Somebody finds it before me, 200 points.
Morgan, I hear a challenge. All right, let me go ahead. She is our guru with the typing, so that's why I'm sending out to her. Thank you so much, Richard. If you have any other questions, he will go ahead and answer them in the chat. But I will go ahead and keep going. I want to show a slide very, very quickly here. Again, I covered myself. This is, again, picture time. If you need to pay for your classes, there are different options. We've already talked about some of them, which include like financial aid and stuff like that. But if you need to pay with cash, credit card, or check, you can do that. scholarships, tuition assistance if you're in the military, or if you need a payment plan. These you need to contact the business office, and here's the information for that. So please take a moment, take a picture. If you have any questions about paying for your classes, this is what you want to save. And then some very quick helpful hints. If you are using tuition assistance to pay for your classes, this is the email that you need to save. And if you're a military student and you want to submit your JST to us, here is the information so that you can go ahead and send that in. See, Morgan, you owe Morgan something, Richard, just saying. You got something in. But this is some information for those of you, if you are military and you need some assistance. We have actually advisors here until 11 p.m. usually.
You are correct.
It's early in the morning. This is all Central Time. So if you're outside of Texas and you're like, oh no, I'm never going to be able to make it, during working hours, we have advisors here from like 6 in the morning?
6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Central Texas time.
So that's just really quick so you guys know. And if you need assistance, there's somebody here to help you Monday through, is it Friday or Thursday?
So during the summer, we are closed on Fridays. And to chime in on that, on our hours availability, I'm actually here late because I'm working evening hours. They are over next week. So during peak registration times like this, we do have evening hours available as well for people who get off late and they need to come see us. So that's kind of why I'm still here tonight. So for the fall registration period as well, we will have evening hours. So if people need to come late at night, we'll be available as well. Just plugging that in real quick.
Yeah, so I thought it was because of us, but whatever. Thought it was the law.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's all for you guys.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, Richard. If you have any other questions, go ahead and put it in the chat for him, and he'll stay on hopefully for a little bit unless he gets called away. So thank you. Now it is time for our safety and security portion of our game. Oh, you want me to go back one? I'm guessing you want, wait. Is it this what you wanted? I hope. Officer Bass, are you in? It's a little bit hard for me to tell sometimes with this new system. But I'm gonna see. I am gonna stop sharing briefly and see if she is here. Or Chief, are you there? I kind of saw. Okay. They told me they may or may not be able to come in, so I will go ahead and help.
Marcella, you're muted.
Thank you. Wow, I was going on a roll. So I guess they're not off. Police is not able to be here today. They had mentioned they may not be able to, and that's okay. But it's really important that we discuss safety and security, specifically in our campus, but this really applies anywhere. Our campus police is actually a police force, and a lot of individuals don't realize that. And so we're going to discuss a little bit about their role on campus. Excuse me, my cough. All right. So this is not what they are. They're not just, mall cops or anything like that. They actually are police officers that have attended the police academy. They represent the state of Texas and have been certified by the state of Texas with powers and jurisdiction between Bell County and Coryell County, because our central campus happens to be right between both of us. For those of you that are local, you will notice that we are right across from Fort Cavazos. So even though they do not necessarily go into Fort Cavazos and have powers and jurisdictions there, they definitely work hand in hand with the police departments that are local. And really, honestly, police departments worldwide and within all the United States. Because anywhere that we have a student, if there is a concern about safety and their well-being, campus police can reach out to the police in the local area and say, hey, we have a concern. Let's work together on it so that we can make sure that our students are safe. So, our police services here in our main campus are available 24/7. And this is the number that I recommend anybody that plans to be here. You should definitely put this in your cell phone, take a picture of this and all of that good stuff, because if you need assistance with anything, things like service, parking permits, unlocking or jump starting a vehicle, that happens sometimes, they can help you. If you feel uncomfortable, maybe it's late at night and you need an escort from a classroom to a vehicle or vice versa, they can definitely help you with that. And then they have a lost and found and first aid as well. So I really think all of our students should have that in case of an emergency. 24/7, somebody will answer that phone. We also have something called the Clery Act. This is basically a law that states that we have to make sure that we do crime reporting and crime statistics and make it available for all of our students. And so we have that available to anybody that might be interested in it. We also have statistics that you can actually download. There's an app for Texas Safety U, and you can go ahead and download that, and you can get more information on the different campuses in Texas if you want to see what's going on. Rights and responsibilities. So campus police works hand in hand with our student conduct officers to make sure that we are making sure that the students are being safe and also following the rules and all of that. They have a zero tolerance policy for here in our main campus for drugs and alcohol. And that's really important especially for those of you that are here in our main campus. Colleen has decriminalized marijuana use. However, in our campus, it is still a criminal offense. And because it is a college campus and a school, it actually gets bumped up a notch than what it normally would be in Texas, in a regular Texas location. So please make sure that you don't bring any drugs or alcohol to our campus. Definitely no smoking either. There's something called Title IX, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, but Title IX has to do with sexual assault, harassment, dating environment and violence and all of that. And we have a zero tolerance policy with all of those things. And of course, if somebody were to break the law on campus, they would definitely address that issue. This is another one that you want to take pictures of. It's more than one, especially if you're here in Texas right now. We have been having a lot of weather issues, and if there is a weather issue, like if there's a tornado that might potentially affect our area or one of our service areas, you might get an Eagle emergency alert. And what we're doing is we will send out a message to you letting you know, hey, be careful with the weather. We're tracking something happening, for example, with a tornado. We've had it where maybe there's an accident out in I-14 and it's really hard for students to come into the campus or out. So we may send you a message so that you can avoid that way. In case of any kind of emergency, they will let us know if it's safe for us to be on campus or if there's anything important that needs to go out to the community, or to their students. The other thing that I personally like, not so much now because we're headed to the summer, but in the winter months, if it starts to freeze and classes are canceled, that would go out that way, which is really helpful at 5 o'clock in the morning. You just turn around, go to sleep, and then wait for the ice to melt. This is how you're going to log in to OmniAlert. You actually can log in through your Eagle self-service. And so you can actually go in there and make changes to it. It will automatically opt everybody in to whatever you have in, when you did your admissions. But maybe you want to have a spouse get these alerts, maybe a parent, children, coworkers, a friend. And so you can add any kind of email, phone number, or so that you can get either a phone call, an email, or a text. So I highly recommend that you do that. Lately, we've been getting a lot because of the weather, and it's very helpful because I know, for example, in my case, it might be a little bit difficult for me to maybe listen to if there's like a tornado alarm going off outside of my building. And so getting that alert would definitely keep me in the loop as to what's going on. Campus carry in Texas, per law, you people are allowed to go ahead and carry a handgun and open carry. However, there are exceptions to this, and our campus is one of them. To be able to open carry here in our campus, you must be a police officer or have some sort of badge. If you have, if you're a licensed handgun holder, you can conceal carry on campus, except in some very specific zones. And if you're a concealed carry, or if you're a license holder, you should have gone through all of this training, and you should know that. But there are some spaces that are specifically designated as gun-free zones, and so please make sure that you are following those policies. Of course, if you are in a military base, the procedures for the military base will supersede that. And these have been some of the gun-free zones that we have on campus, and we want to make sure that you are aware of. We have something called CRAZE, the Civilian Response to Active Shooter Events. It's a course that our campus police offers. We also strongly recommend that there's a video, and I think you're going to even watch it on YouTube. It says, "See something, say something." And it really talks about making sure that you and we're all really safe on campus and anywhere we go. The other thing that our chief of police really wants to make sure that you're aware of is that we have the avoid, deny, defend response to active shooters. So make sure this one you definitely can find in YouTube, and you can watch it. It is very concise, and it just basically says that in case of an emergency and there is an active shooter, really think of a plan, try to avoid the situation, deny access to the shooter, and defend yourself if you feel threatened. That's the very short version of that. And that's all on campus police. Yeah, it's a really good video. It's a really good video, guys. I really recommend that everybody watch that one video, the Avoid, Deny, Defend. It is very well made. It's very short, and it really makes you think. And it's really something that you can use regardless of where you're located. It's just something that you should have an awareness of. So, thanks, Shane. All right, now it's my official opportunity to talk to you guys about student rights and responsibilities, and of course, show you some resources. So I told you I'm the director of student life and activities. That is one of the hats that I wear on for Central Texas College. I have multiple hats, but right now we're going to put my conduct officer hat / Title IX investigator hat. Okay. I am the main conduct officer for the campus, and that means that if there's a situation with a student and we need to investigate it and see what's going on, that I will go ahead and reach out to the students and say, hey, what's going on? I have a complaint or something has happened and we need to look into it. And I want to know what happened and what we can do to resolve the situation. A lot of times, students I have found is that they just need help on something and they need some resources and maybe some guidance as to better ways of dealing with situations. And I hope that I can be a guide for anybody that might need that. Having said that, if I do have to take some sort of action as a disciplinary and conduct officer, of course I will do so. But I really rather deal with situations before they become a problem and get too complicated. So please feel free to reach out and say, you know what, I'm not sure how to handle this situation. Please help guide me through this process. I would much rather do that than have to investigate it on the back end of it. So just want to throw that out there. All right. One of the things that I do have to go over is discrimination in Title IX. This is a federal law. This goes through the Department of Education, and we need to make sure that all of our students and everybody understands that all kinds of discrimination are prohibited, including sexual discrimination. We really want to make sure that any kind of sexual misconduct or discrimination actually is reported. We have an online form, and I'll show you in a little bit what that form looks like, or the link to the form. But if you ever feel that you are discriminated, or that you either have been a victim or you're aware that there is some sort of sexual misconduct or discrimination, please contact Larry Murphy. He is our Title IX coordinator, and that way he will begin the process to make sure that people feel safe, and that we can start potentially an investigation if necessary. You're also welcome to contact campus police. Safety is first, and there we'll make sure to address that before anything else. Again, one of these things that you can take a picture of. This is where the pictures start coming in, guys. We have an online reporting form, and that's the form that you can fill out. It can be anonymous if you want to report a Title IX violation. You are welcome to fill that form out. Also, if you want more information about Title IX here on this campus, you're also welcome to look at it. We have the training, and there's a lot of information about Title IX and what it means to our campus. Last but not least, I highly encourage everybody to watch this consent video. Let's see, how are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing pretty good. It is very cute. It is very cute. And the reason we say that is consent is really, really key in everything that has to do with Title IX. The one thing that I do want to point out is that we have a lot of minors on our campus, and they may look like they're old enough, but they may not be. So please be very careful about beginning a relationship, especially a physical relationship, with anybody on our campus. Because we do have a lot of minors on campus that may look like they're old enough, but they may not be. And this really goes across the board anywhere you go, again, because it feels almost like the younger they are, the older they look. If you have any questions, again, picture time, we have a student handbook and a college catalog where you can get a lot of information about that. That's just going to help you in general about being a student here at CTC. But the student handbook, which is the one that I oversee, that is the link to it. And this is an old cover for it, but it looks very similar. In there, you're going to find a lot of information that you really should be aware of, especially anything that has to do with academic integrity, as well as any kind of misconduct of any kind. Also, the Title IX policy is all included in there. Highly encourage you to at least peruse it, get an idea as to what's in there, if there's anything that needs to be added, or that you need to be aware of. And if you feel like something needs to be added, please let me know. But for the most part, it just has a lot of great information for you. The catalog, this is really kind of interesting because this is where you can look at all the degree plans that we offer, all the classes that we could potentially offer as well. And an academic advisor can help kind of guide you through understanding a lot of this, but it really holds all the academic policies, the degree plans. If you have any course requirements, core requirements, and all of that, you can actually find that in the catalog. And you should be aware of what's in there. We use it a lot to make sure, like when you start a program, make sure what classes you were supposed to be registered for. And that's kind of the college's really like academic Bible, so to speak, because that really includes everything that you need to do to be aware of in terms of academics. There are some expectations for our students, in a big one for if there's any students here that have been in high school and haven't really been in college. The main difference is really that you have to be the person who advocates for yourself. In high school, you find that a parent might step in, teachers may advocate for you and say, I think that there's something going on with you. We might want to have you tested on this or that. At this level, that does not work. You need to say, I need help. Can you please help me figure out how to, and then fill in the blank for whatever it is that you need help with. So don't stay quiet. Don't hide. Let us know what's going on with you. And if you have questions, if you don't feel like you really know what to do next, please ask. Because at this point, we really need you to be the one who's coming to us and telling us what you need so that we can give it to you. We expect you to behave as adults. Most of you probably are. You might have some that are not quite there yet. But regardless of what age you are, we're going to still treat you like an adult and expect you to act as an adult. So make sure that you're thinking things through, what you have to do and how you're going to handle yourself in front of others. I personally think it's very important that we are able to look at each other from different perspectives and points of view. We may have been raised a little bit different. Our cultures may be slightly different. And maybe what's important to one culture might be a little bit different to the other. And so you can get really far with just having calm conversations where you say, I don't see what you're telling, I don't understand what you're telling me, or when you tell me this is what I'm understanding and this is what I'm seeing. Can you explain it to me from your point of view, why it is that you can see this? And that can be very, very helpful to avoid a lot of issues. That can be with other students, that can be with your faculty and other staff members, even with your family, honestly. Syllabus. Guys, your faculty earlier today told you that this is really, really important. You should read it for every single class that you're in and make sure that you understand the requirements for all of them. Everything that's in that syllabus. Attendance. Missing a class will result in poor grades and failing course. I know faculty already talked about this, but it's super important that you show up, do every single piece of work that they give you, and at least try to do your best. Have integrity and make sure that you have honesty and responsibility in your coursework. At this level, you can't just copy paste things and you can't just pull stuff from Wikipedia. You really have to think it through, cite your sources, and make sure that you're really giving credit where credit is due. If you're not doing that and you need assistance with that, I'm going to tell you right now, our library is amazing with that. We have great librarians that can help you figure out how you can go in there and cite your sources correctly and make sure that you're not, hopefully, unintentionally maybe getting credit for something that you did not come up with. Civility, it is really important, of course. Like I said, act as an adult, what we expect of as an adult, and that includes no disruptions in class, being respectful to others, and the property and everything that we're doing here. There are some college guidelines and procedures, of course, like in the Student Code of Conduct. You need to make sure you follow those. Please, please look at everything and make sure that you're aware of what's expected of you as a student. Title IX we talked about already, and there's resources that you should be using from day one, and we're going to talk about those in a minute. The Student Code of Conduct, and again, that you can find that in the Student Handbook. Another one of these, take a picture of it. We talked a lot about this, but this kind of goes over everything. The one thing I haven't talked about is the student complaints. If you as a student find that you have a complaint about a situation, a faculty, a staff member, a student, you are welcome to fill out a student complaint form. There is there's a link to that, and you are welcome to go ahead and fill it out. Let us know what's going on, and we'll go ahead and address it. Okay. Here's some of the resources, and I'm gonna actually have some of these resources talk to you a little bit about what they do, but I'm gonna go over the ones that maybe you haven't thought about. And student success and persistence, that is the umbrella that oversees my area. That is the umbrella where Dean Starkey oversees. And so we're all gonna give you a little bit more information about what we have for that. Resources can also be your faculty members or the academic department. Oh, we got to change that. It's no longer student assistants. But the CTC police can be a resource. They can help you out if necessary. Library has amazing resources. If you type up a project or, some sort of document, you send it to them, they will proofread it and send it back to you within 24 working hours. The same thing with the communications department. Whether you're taking a communications class or not, they will help you and correct your papers. That is something that, you don't even have to pay for. They will do it for you for free. All you have to do is type it up, do your best, send it to them, and then they'll give you feedback as to how you can improve it. We also have student services, tutoring available in our academic studio. And the tutoring is actually in person and virtual. You just have to make an appointment. Student services, we have advising, financial aid. You've met most of these individuals already. And of course, we also have a gym here on campus that as long as you can get your student ID, you can go and use. Oh, went too far. We also have some resources for our local, and actually some go even a little bit further. You are welcome to contact us if you need assistance with other resources. Sometimes things happen and we kind of go, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to handle the situation. We've had students that maybe have lost their homes. All of a sudden, maybe they have lost their job and they don't have money to pay for food. We have some options for you guys. You just need to reach out and we will do our very best to be able to help you. Nadia, are you here? I think she is because I saw her earlier.
I'm here.
Yay! So I am going to have Nadia Filimonova speak to you a little bit more about this side of it. She is our Wellness and Counseling Services Director. Take it away, Nadia.
Hello, CTC family. My name is Nadia Filimonova, and I'm the Director of Wellness and Counseling Services here on campus. I'm your mental health support on CTC campus. If you have any issues like anxiety, depression, or you just simply need to talk to somebody, come and see us. We offer a wide variety of services like individual counseling and group counseling. What you need to know about us, when you come to us, you talk with us private and free of charge. We don't share your information with anyone without your permission. Sometimes we might tell someone if there is a risk of harm. It is rare, but your safety is our priority. Your counselor is here to create a safe space for you to discuss your concerns. We appreciate diversity and welcome everyone, no matter their background. We offer a wide variety of services, again, like counseling and individual counseling, and we also have a variety of groups like AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, and Mindfulness Hour. We have a licensed professional counselors here on board, and I would like to introduce you to our counselor, Ron Porter, and he will tell you how to schedule an appointment with us and how to contact us.
All right, hi there. We've got a number of ways that you can contact us, email, phone, of course, and you can contact us Monday through Thursday during the summer from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And let's see. Araceli, there should be another slide after this one that shows that information. There we go. There are our summertime hours, and then on in the fall, you can contact us on Fridays, 7:30 to 11:30 a.m. And then the next slide shows a picture of our building, I believe. Right.
We lost a building, guys. We have lost a full building.
That was such a
Yes.
great picture. We're the little rock house, white rock house, between Eagles Hall and the planetarium. So come by and see us, visit with us. We've got a number of resources, lots of pamphlets and helpful information that, as far as like stress management, lots of different things. And got an AA meeting that meets during the week. So
I will tell you guys, I'm going to step in for a moment. Every single person, when you start college, especially if you've been out of college for a while, I feel like we always need help, just to kind of get ourselves into it. I highly recommend that you meet with our counselors from the very beginning. Let them know who you are, so that way when the stress hits the fan, you are able to, you know where to go, you have already made a connection, and it will make it a lot easier. Highly encourage everybody to do that. And then you guys can also assist virtually, correct?
Correct. Something else I wanted to mention, that we're not only offering face-to-face counseling, but we have a secure and safe platform, telehealth, where we can provide our students not only here but all over the world with our virtual counseling. All what they need to schedule appointment with us or to contact us and request that appointment.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, and I'm wishing everybody a nice semester.
Thank you. All right. Let's see. Residence hall. Okay, so our residence hall manager was not able to come in. She sent me a message because we have move-in for next week, guys. So a lot of students are actually moving into our residence hall today. And she's like, they're still coming in. We're still letting them in. I said, that's fine. I got you. So we do have a residence hall here in our central campus. It is a co-ed residence hall. We have meal plans for those that actually live here, free laundry facilities, study room, game room, free internet, and it is eligible for full-time students. You can use the financial aid for room and board costs. So if you are interested in actually living on campus, please feel free to reach out to the residence hall. There's their email, and you can actually do a little mini tour for the residence hall and get some information from their website. We are always, available for our students, and even if you have kind of a very different, we have different programs, right? So we have the classes that go the regular semesters, and we have some classes like our Kate Center that they have very different start dates. That's okay, as long as you're considered a full-time student, then we will go ahead and work with you to make sure that you are able to stay here in our campus. So if you need it, now it is time for our disability support services. Dr. Schenk, Christy, you there?
Yeah, Marisol, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. I wanted to share some information about what our department does. We are Disability Support Services, also known as DSS, and we can help students with academic and classroom accommodations. In order for us to do that, you do have to have a qualifying disability under the Americans with Disability Act. That means you have to have a major life activity that's significantly impacted by your disability. For example, a major life activity could be walking, talking, sleeping, learning, concentration. There's a lot of different life activities that would qualify. It could be a physical or mental impairment or disability. If you're not sure that your disability qualifies, I encourage you to reach out to us so we can talk to you about your specific situation to see if you qualify. If you do need our services, you do have to self-identify to us, and that's one of the big differences between high school and college. At the high school level, the schools identify you. At the college, you have to self-identify to us. We do not seek out disability students. Another thing is that you do have to provide medical documentation to us of a qualifying disability. The documentation has to be current, meaning it has to be no older than 5 years, preferably 3 years. It needs to tell us what your disability is, how your disability affects you, how it was diagnosed, and what accommodations you might need so we can assist you. You also have to complete our student intake process through the eTree, their e-forms. And if you have questions about that, you can reach out to us and we can go step by step on how to do that. We do have a website where there are instructions on how to access our intake forms as well as the type of documentation that's required. Some of the examples of accommodations that we provide are extra testing time, separate testing area, a test reader, a sign language interpreter, note-taking services. The accommodations that you'll be approved for is dependent upon your specific disability as well as the documentation. So accommodations will vary from student to student based on what your personal situation is. We do have accommodations for students who are taking online classes, so they're not just classes that are on campus. And our services are free and available to students worldwide. You do not have to be taking classes at our central campus. So if you're taking online classes or at a different location, we can still help with the accommodations. You just have to reach out to us. Another thing that our office does is under Title IX, that Marisol talked about a little bit earlier, we do help students who are parenting or pregnant students. We can help get absences approved, leave approved, as well as time to make up work for those absences. So if you are a pregnant or parenting student, you can reach out to us and we can talk to you individually about what your situation is and how we can help you with that aspect of your education. Our contact information is there, and I will also type it in chat. And we do offer appointments in person, virtual, or telephone appointments. So there's many different ways that we can set up an appointment with you, so you do not have to be local for us to help you. So if you have any questions, please put it in chat, and I'll be happy to answer those. And you can always reach out to us at any time, and we can sit down and talk with you about your disability needs.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Shank. Here is a little bit more information directly for Dr. Shank, and then of course for our Dean of Student Success and Persistence, Dean Starkey. This is any questions, guys? This is we're pretty much coming to that portion where we're almost there. We're almost there. Make sure you're getting in. I am going to ask Morgan Poe. She has been the woman with the fingers, making sure that all of your questions are answered in the chat. But I'm going to ask her to kind of go over a little bit about the textbook and materials assistance, childcare assistance, and transportation assistance. Woo!
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go over real quick the 3 different programs we have for career and technical education students. So those are students who are taking things like nursing, welding, graphics and design, office tech. There's a lot of different degrees I can help with. So please just reach out to the email or the phone number on the screen, and we can work with you and see what you qualify for. So the 3 programs are going to be textbooks and materials assistance, childcare assistance, and transportation assistance. Textbook and materials, you can get your books for free if you qualify. You can get your uniforms for free. You can get things like the culinary knife sets and the rulers and templates for graphics and design. There's a bunch of things you can get for free if you qualify. For childcare assistance, if you are in 12 credit hours or 10 for the summer, 12 is for spring and fall. The 10 hours is for the summer semester. We can help you with childcare costs by sending the daycare. that your child is attending, $90 per week per child for up to 3 children. It can be a home daycare, so long as that daycare provider is a licensed daycare. It cannot be grandma watching your child. It has to be a licensed grandma watching your child. For transportation assistance, there's 2 different parts of this program. The first is going to be assistance to your in-person classes. You can either do a $50 a month gas reimbursement issued at the end of the semester, or a hop ride voucher that you can pick up once a month to get unlimited rides to get you to campus. The other part of the transportation program is going to be a second separate $50 a month for travel to your in-person clinicals or internship. Your internship does have to be required for your degree. Now the requirements are on the screen. You do have to have a CTE degree. You have to have proof of economic need, which can be done with a Pell Grant, proof you receive WIC, TANF, SNAP, or a copy of your 1040 tax return documentation from the previous filing year. So for this summer semester, that'll be last year's taxes, but for the fall, that'll be when you filed this April for the 2023 year. Now for the textbook and transportation program, you will need 6 credit hours for the semester, or for childcare, like I said previously, 12 credit hours or 10 credit hours. The other requirement is that you have a 2.0 GPA, but if you don't have that because it's your first semester here with us, we will waive it, and then any subsequent semesters, you will have to have that 2.0 GPA or more. For the question in the chat, we don't take unemployment as proof, but if you're unemployed, there's usually another way you can qualify, whether it be the government assistance programs or a Pell Grant. Another side note to the economic need is going to be that if you are on somebody else's taxes or somebody else's SNAP, TANF, WIC, I just need your name and an active date range to prove that you qualify. It does not have to be your 1040 as long as you are dependent on somebody who qualifies. We can still work with you. Is there any other questions? No? Well, I'll be in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, contact the email, contact the phone number, or visit the website, and we'll be happy to help.
Thank you, Morgan, very much. Okay, so let's see. Again, this is a Q&A time. If we haven't answered your questions already, please go ahead and put them in the chat. This is pretty much our last slide. So make sure that you save this. These are emails that can help answer your questions if you don't know what to do or who you talk to. If you're kind of stuck, please go ahead and take a picture of these, and let's get the party rolling, guys. This is exciting for me. We're almost there. We're almost there. Does anybody have any other questions? Anything else that maybe we have not discussed up until this point? Because I don't see any. If that is the case, that is all we have. Thank you very much for being here tonight. I know it's a lot of information, but I appreciate that you actually stuck through to the very end. We are happy to have you here, and we look forward to meeting you as you go about your education here at CTC. I hope you guys take care. The nursing pathway, I have to go to the building. That way I can get told what's best for me and what classes I need. Bethany, just contact them. You can email them. You don't necessarily have to physically go there. A lot of the times they can send you the information through an email, and that's all you need to really do. So I really recommend that you just send them an email and let them know that, you know, you really want to get more information. There's usually the same classes that need to be taken over and over again, and you can go ahead and just contact them and they'll let you know what you have to do. And if you want to come in, just make an appointment so that you can make sure that somebody is going to be there to answer your questions. Okay? All right, Beth. Have a good night, Betsy. Sorry. All right. Morgan just put that in the chat. Are we in? Are they all gone? Yay! Another one out. Oh my God, Morgan, did you guys see the chat? It totally changed.
I know.
Yeah, that was really weird. I like it, but it was really weird.
Yes, I actually like it because it's easier to keep the conversation flowing and keep track of it. But they changed a lot of stuff in here that I wasn't prepared for. So that was kind of cool. I actually do like it a lot. It's really, really fun and it really is great. It's just, I was like, at the beginning trying to figure out what everything was and where they were. I was like, oh, wow. That was interesting. But yeah, so actually it ended up going much better than I thought it was going to be. So
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. I know everybody's tired. Mariceli, I know you're tired. I'm glad your voice hung in there. Woohoo!
Yeah, thank you for everybody that spoke up and was able to be here. Oh, I forgot to tell them about ETX this weekend. Oh well, whatever.
It's okay. We're
Saturday.
We're okay.
We'll be there.
Yep.
Can you go
All
home?
right, guys.
We'll send a text.
There you go.
I'll let you guys take care of that. I'm done. You guys have a fabulous. I don't know if I'm even coming in Monday, but we'll let you know.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye guys. Thank you.